Bon appétit.
So this is how my day started. I opened this book and I was like, okay, what the hell haven't I made yet? I was like scanning. I found it. Gâteau de Crêpe à la Florentine. I haven't made that yet. It's a mound of French pancakes filled with cream cheese, spinach, and mushrooms. And French pancakes are crepes. It is a crepe cake, but it's savory. Now I have a bit of a short history with crepe cakes. I've made one before, and I wasn't crazy about it, quite honestly. I don't know what's going on with it. Actually, it was rated one of my least favorite desserts of 2020. Take that to the bank. I'm getting ready to leave that one behind me. In fact, I don't even know why I brought it up, because this is a fresh start today. Let's get started. So I got my liquidizer. I'm gonna start off with the crepe batter. All I gotta do, essentially, is throw a bunch of ingredients into the blender. 4 eggs. A freaking eggshell. That's a bad start. Break the eggs off in a separate bowl before adding them into the blender. It's a lesson that I can never seem to remember. 4 eggs. This is 3/4 pint, 355 milliliters of cold liquid. You need 1 of each. Milk, water, divided by 2, 177.5 milliliters. Half a teaspoon of salt, 4 tablespoons, 57 grams of melted butter. Add the flour, then the butter. Half a pound, 227 grams of sifted flour. I'm gonna cover this up and blend it for 1 minute. And if flour adheres to the sides, scrape it down and mix for another 2 to 3 seconds. No plastic wrap, use this. Yeah. Look at the pretty pattern. I'm gonna cover it up with this reusable. And this is the reason I woke up early this morning. I gotta put this in the fridge for at least 2 hours. Maybe more. I mean, more, definitely not less. Now you can just chill. 9 to 10, 10 to 11. So it has been 4.5 hours. That is my crepe batter. And the reason, thank you very much. The reason for doing that is so that the flour can just completely absorb in the liquid and that the gluten just like calms the hell down, essentially. So she says you use an iron frying pan or a crepe pan. I have an iron frying. Also, I know it's crepe. I just like saying crepe. Crepe, crepe, crepe. Honestly, I've never used a cast iron pan with making crepes before. Moderately high heat. So she says a piece of fat bacon or pork rind, and then you kind of render the fat, or cooking oil. I'm gonna use some leftover bacon fat. So I heat that up to just about smoking. Okay, it's kind of smoking now. The first crepe is always the trial one. Okay, I can do better. I think there's too much bacon grease in there. So take some of the crepe batter into the center. Quickly move it around so that it's covering the entire base. 60 or 80 seconds on that side until there's like a nice light brown on the other side. Oh, jostle it around, jostle it around. Ready to flip it. Ugh, too early. Like a spatula to flip this over, or I'm just gonna use my hands. Ow! Okay, I like that. Pan is drying up, so I'm gonna add some lard. Grab the pan so you're ready. Batter goes into the center. Move it all around quickly. Damn it. So the goal is always to make them as thin as possible. So much so that you can like hold it up to the light and read through it. This one is way too thick. A for effort. This time I want to use less batter. This one's nice and thin, so the thickness is good, or lack thereof, but the shape of it is weird, so a little improvement would be nice. Honestly, I just find that flipping it with my hands is the easiest way to do it. Burns the tips a bit, but it's all good. She says after each crepe, add a little more grease or oil, whatever. Shit. This bowl was hanging in a very precarious spot over here, and it fell over on its side. And the batter from at least like 2-3 crepes. Now I need 12 crepes in total. This has got to push me to the limit. I don't know how to do that. Don't put it there. There's too much crepe batter. Pour it back into the bowl. Salvage this, salvage this. I need this crepe, I need this crepe. There's gotta be a way to separate it. Ow. Okay, take this crepe off for a second. Really, really need this crepe. It was gonna be a nice one too. I'm running out of batter now, so each crepe means quite a bit to this recipe. As this is like a nice light brown on one side, and then a spotty brown on the other side. I really like this crepe. This one's really nice. Is there any other ones like that? One's pretty good. Oh, that one's really nice too. So I have 9 crepes. I was supposed to make 12 because there's a few mistakes along the way, a couple wasted crepes, and then obviously yeah, this is not good. I needed 24 crepes, not 12 crepes. People ask me, do you read the recipes? I do. I read over the recipes every single time I make these. But then there's just errors that happen every time. I need double the amount of crepes that I have, which that is really unfortunate. I mean, this is kind of an honest mistake, I will say. So yeah, I started over here in the crepe batter. It says for about 12 crepes. So I just proceeded with making all that. But then if you go to the rest of the recipe, it says starts with, you need 24 crepes. F. What a bonehead move. 2 hours I gotta wait again. Okay, so I'm not just gonna twiddle my thumbs while I wait for that batter. I have lots that I can be doing. So I gotta start with the sauce mornay. It's like a bechamel sauce with cheese. Medium heat, 2 ounces, 57 grams of each, flour and butter. This is a pint of milk, which is 475-ish milliliters. I'm gonna boil this. Instead of dirtying up in dishes, we're just gonna do it in the microwave. Once that's incorporated, I'm gonna turn off the heat. Gonna add a pinch of nutmeg, booyah, half a teaspoon of salt, there, and an 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. So add in the boiling milk. Turn the heat back on and whisk this until the milk starts to boil. Okay, let's reduce that to a simmer now. An 1/8 pint, like 75 milliliters of heavy cream, and I need to add it in by the tablespoon. Okay, so 1 tablespoon of heavy cream, another tablespoon, stir, repeat. Yeah. Rinse and repeat, and then the rest. So this needs to be thick enough to coat the back of a spoon fairly heavily. I would say yes. Okay, turn off the heat. Gruyere cheese. I need 4 ounces, roughly 120 grams, coarsely grated. Okay, so I gotta correct the seasoning, some salt, pepper. Damn it, all out pepper. Just add the salt for now. Add all but 2 tablespoons of the cheese. Stir that in. Film the top of the sauce with milk to prevent a skin from forming. So all I believe I do here is just like very carefully add this just on top. Just a little milk. And then probably just move it around. Next up's the spinach filling. Okay, so firstly, chop up my shallot. That's what she's asking for, 12 ounces of blanched chopped spinach. This is 12 ounces of fresh spinach. So you go to the page where you're supposed to do the spinach. It says for 1.5 pounds of blanched chopped spinach, you need 3 pounds. But since I only need 12 ounces of blanched spinach, with the seeing conflicting reports online. People are saying I need maybe 3 to 4 cups of spinach. Is that a cup? 1 cup, 4 piles like that. So that, do that much spinach. Just say that's 4 cups. I still have that left over. says it's triple washed. All right, I'll wash it. I was a good boy, I washed the spinach. All right, so I needed roughly 3,000 milliliters of boiling water. That's gonna take a while. The reason I'm measuring the water is because I always add way too much and then I'm just wasting time waiting for the water to boil. So I figure if I just add exactly what I need to add, I'll be a better man for it.
0.25 pounds is 113.4 grams.
And to mince up the mushrooms. Salt the water. Just waiting for the water to boil. All right, so once that water is boiling, come on, boil, damn it. Close enough. Okay, water is boiling. I'm gonna add in the spinach. The water's been brought back up to a boil. I'm gonna boil this for 5 minutes. So this is Julia's method of removing the spinach. At once, place a colander curved side down in the pan, protecting your hands with a cloth.
Hold the colander firmly clamped onto the sides of the pan as you tilt the pan and pour the water. Still with the colander in place, run cold water in the pan for several minutes to refresh the spinach. This will preserve its color and texture. Remove the colander and lift the spinach out of the water into the colander, thus leaving any possible grains of soil in the bottom of the pan.
All I feel like you have to do is remove the spinach and rinse it with cold water. Done. A small amount at a time, squeeze the spinach in your hands to extract as much water as possible. The last drops of water squeezed from the spinach can be saved for soup. I think I'm good. Chop the spinach with a big knife. I got a big knife. Okay, so that's not even a cup's worth. F. So I need 12 ounces of the blanched chopped spinach and I have 4. I need 3 times that. Reheat the water. Use all the spinach then. Blanch that spinach. 1.5 cups of chopped blanched spinach. That will have to do. That's all the spinach I have. Here's a frying pan and butter. Melt that. All right, I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of the shallot. Just cook this for a moment, then add the spinach.
Yeah!
1/4 teaspoon of salt, mix it, stir it, get it all covered up in the butter. This is gonna cook for 2 to 3 minutes. The moisture has to evaporate from the spinach. Duh. Stir in about 1/4 pint of the cheese sauce, which I'm trying to figure out what the hell the cheese sauce is. And I guess it's this, the bechamel with cheese. But she never called it cheese sauce before until now, which is just kind of confusing. I mean, it's probably this. This is the only other sauce I've made, and it has cheese in it. I mean, you say things out loud like that, and it all makes sense. The cheese sauce. So I need 118 milliliters. I'll just, like, scoop it up like that. See? See how thick it is? Okay, mix that all together. Cover with whatever lid fits. Turn down the heat and simmer for 8 to 10 minutes, stirring occasionally and correcting the seasoning, of course. Once that's done, turn off the heat and just set that aside over here. There's nowhere else to set it aside. Next up is the cheese and mushroom filling. The star of this dish is either cottage cheese or cream cheese, and I'm going with the old cottage. Thank you. 226 grams, 8 ounces. Add pepper, add salt, mash it. How the hell do I mash this? What if I mash it with a bowl? That's not. I don't really get it. Cottage cheese is already pretty mashed to begin with, so I don't know what that means, mash it. I'm just gonna avoid that. Okay, so same with the spinach filling. I need 1/4 pint of the cheese sauce. In with the cottage, 1 egg. Running out of like clean things. Beat that all together. I don't get it. Beat with what? Just with this? Beaten together. One last frying pan. It's the last one I have. Okay, we'll need a little butter and a little oil. Tablespoon of chopped shallot and the mushrooms. Saute this for 5 to 6 minutes. Add them into the cheese mixture. not to be confused with the cheese sauce. All right, great news. It's time to assemble everything. Just joking, I have like 12 more crepes I gotta make. This time I know everything I gotta do to make these crepes look nice, which I know the right amount of lard, that's too much. I've learned my lesson. And then I think I know the right amount to pour in. Shake it, light brown. Second attempt, much better, much better. 11, 12, 13, 9 here from the previous attempt. That's 22 in total. What did I need? 24, so close enough. Just repetition, it's practice, and you just get better at it. Can I read through it? I can't read through it though. Proud to stack this on my cake. My first crepe of the day, my last crepe of the day. Round baking dish, 9 inches in diameter and 1.5 inches deep. Butter it up. I don't even know if this is a crepe. Okay, first crepe on the bottom of the pan. Spread it with a layer of the cheese and mushroom filling. Okay, how much cheese and mushroom filling? That's probably good. Next crepe goes on top, and then a layer of the spinach filling. Keep doing that, add a crepe, different type of filling, alternating, until the thing is stacked. Cheese and mushroom, stack, spinach. Last crepe, drape it on like a bed sheet. I had to heat up the cheese sauce just to make it a bit more spreadable. Goes on top and the sides. Yeah, okay, that works. That's absolutely covered. I have the leftover Gruyere cheese, Swiss cheese. Sprinkle on top. 2 tablespoons I think I saved. This is gonna be good. I've come across this before in the book, but when she says dot with butter, I just take like little pieces of butter like this and put them on top, like so. 2, 3. That's it. That's all, just 3. I'm gonna put this on the bottom rack just so that there's no cheese, like 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 to 25 minutes in between. So like split the difference, 27 minutes. Upper rack. Broiler running for like 2-3 minutes to get that cheese on the top browned. Okay. Order up. Problem is I have it in this cake pan and I want to remove it to show it off, but I don't know how to get it out. And I know as soon as I try to attempt to take it out, it's just the cheese sauce is melted and it is connected to the side of the pan. So if I remove good. It's real good. It's real good. I want to see how much this weighs. Holy hell, this weighs 4 pounds. And that's without a slice in there. Whew. I'm trying to like find the words to describe what I'm eating here. It's like covered in cheese. It's like layered. It's like a French lasagna kind of thing, but instead of pasta, it's like, it's crepes. So spinach reminds me of spinach artichoke dip. The crepes have absorbed all the cheese liquids, so they've got a lot of flavor in them. And the cottage cheese is a nice subtle cheese taste to it, even though the book said you could add cream cheese or cottage cheese. I think the cream cheese would have been too much. Would have been too much. Then you pick up the mushrooms too, obviously. So each bite, it's just like, there's a lot to unpack there. I mean, is this a cake though? It's dense. It's very dense, but it's soft. So you'd like take a bite, your teeth cut right through each layer, no problem. But it's not like a fluffy cake. Much the opposite. Would I recommend it? Hell yeah, I would. It's fantastic. Love this thing. That's it though. Thank you all very much for watching. Oh, shout out to these guys, my Patreon supporters supporting the show. There's a link in the description if you want to check that out. And this was Jamie and Julia. Bon appetit. Au revoir.